from Studio 13 in California, you're listening to Wildcard with your hosts, John.
You ask, why, John? Why are you bringing up Hood Horkerz? Haven't we explored all there is to Hork?
And Connor.
I want to be there for you, John, but this is just a bridge too far.
Too late.
Now with fewer STDs.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Wildcard. We're flying solo today with no guest, but that's going to give us time to get to all the stuff we missed in past weeks. Things like, did our episode about Hood Horkerz, the smokable hoodie, leave you wanting more? Has it kept you up at night wondering about the financial stability of said business? Well, wait no more, because one of our listeners unearthed some info that will make you green with envy. I'm sorry about that one. From drugs, we move on to a guy with a podcast and a problem that will make you want to use more hand sanitizer when you're in public. And lastly, we go trolling. We talk about Omarosa, the ultimate troll, and whether or not Trump actually said the N-word. So lock your door, put your browser to incognito, and get ready to get weird in this episode of Wildcard.
Are you recording?
I am recording, thank you. We were woefully unprofessional last week when we had F-18 fighter pilot extraordinaire Ben Horn on, and I neglected to press record. However, this week, I am attempting to up the ante, because instead of having Connor in studio, where we have soundproofing materials, a decent quality mic, headphones, instead, Connor is calling me from what can best be described as a prison-looking cell.
I was so disgusted with your lack of performance last week that I refused to be in the same room. So I am currently calling in from an undisclosed secure location in Southern California.
Based on a Facebook post that you made a few days ago, you continue to outdo yourself in your race to be the single most disgusting person that I am acquainted with.
I'm tired of you blaming the victim, okay? I am moving from one house to another, and of course I'm too cheap to hire anybody else to help. I did it pretty much all myself, with some help from the boyfriend. And at one point around 3 a.m. on day number 47 of the move, I went to move the toilet bowl cleaner brush. Whereupon the bowl that the toilet bowl cleaner brush sits in spilled, I'm going to say like 3 cups of toilet bowl cleaner brush water all over my legs and shoes.
Connor, you do not move the toilet bowl brush.
So here's where it gets worse.
Okay.
Because we had already moved out. This was like my last run. I'm in the old place in the middle of the night. I was getting like the Keystone lights out of the fridge and like a half jug of milk that went sour on the way driving it to the new place, and this toilet bowl brush. There's nothing else in the house. There's no soap. There are no towels, no change of clothes.
So how is this different from your apartment normally?
Good point. Touche. Normally, I'm generally not covered in toilet bowl water, generally.
Did you bathe? That's the key question. Did you bathe?
Well, see, that's what I'm driving at, is I didn't have the capacity to bathe. I mean, I think the water was still turned on, but I didn't have soap or a towel.
God, you are gross.
I didn't have delousing powder. I got on my phone and I put up a Facebook post.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was peachy.
I figured that would solve the problem.
Yeah. We should probably get to the whole point of today's episode, which is we do not have a guest, and many people will now be turning the episode off because they'll have to listen to our drivel. But I want to call this kind of a garbage show. And basically, when we prepare for these podcasts, we kind of look up different things that might be fun to talk about, various diseases that Connor has and how contagious they are, etc. And we end up with a whole lot of interesting articles, some of them short, some of them long. And we don't always get to them because we love the sound of our own voice. And once we blather on for a long time, or we have really interesting guests, fighter pilot Ben Horn, we don't always get to the articles. And so we end up with kind of this stack of things we want to talk about. And so I thought that what we could do is every once in a while have a garbage show and kind of clear that out. But before I get, this is big news. I got very excited. One of our fans sent this in to us, and I was overly excited about this. What does this song mean to you?
Me, I'm out here trying to get rich. And you just be talking that shit. But me, I never ever snitch.
Connor, what is that music?
That's clearly the Hood Horkerz theme song.
Hood Horkerz! Yes.
theme song / jingle, but it actually sounds like a pretty good song. Like did Hood Horkerz, he should focus on music if he made that song, which I assume
please.
he did.
Hood Horkerz has a plethora of YouTube videos here.
All with copyright infringement?
How about the official Smoking Out My Homies?
No, John, that says Smoking Out My Hoodie.
Slow up. What you doing? What it look like, bro? I'm smoking out my hoodie.
Smoking out my hoodie. Smoking out my hoodie.
Homegirl started choosing.
That is the worst thing I've ever seen. Just one point of clarification,
Okay.
and maybe a constructive criticism. You said smoking out my homies because you're dyslexic. It's smoking out my hoodie because that's what you do with the Hood Horkerz.
Yes, sorry, smoking out my hoodie.
Also, I thought the first shot was funny because it's a guy lighting up a joint, which if your product is for smoking out of your sweatshirt, joints are like your biggest competitor.
Okay, so you ask, why, John? Why are you bringing up Hood Horkerz? Haven't we explored all there is to hork?
I would never ask that. There is so much more left to hork.
This was actually sent to us by a fan. It is an article all about the kingpin that is the CEO, bitch, of Hood Horkerz, a man by the name of Sean Oliver. This is from Santa Cruz Waves Journal. This is an article written about the phenomenon, the unstoppable future unicorn that is Hood Horkerz. It says, I recently came across a post on Sean's Facebook page. Again, Sean Oliver, the owner of Hood Horkerz. Work hours for dollars, work ideas for millions.
Okay, that took me a second, but okay. I'm not sure he's achieved that yet, but okay, go on.
If you haven't posted your inspirational quote for the day on Instagram, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Isn't it true how all people that are completely unsuccesssul always have these inspirational quotes about how to be successful?
Either that or they have podcasts. Yeah.
I will ignore that comment and move on. So the author of the journalist says, this simple thought has kept Sean ahead of the game and doing financially better than the majority of people his age. Offered $2.3 million for his patent on the first line of Hood Horkerz smokable clothing.
You are shitting me.
He promptly turned it down.
No, he did not.
He promptly turned it down.
Oh my God. Who offered him that? Was it his mother?
He horked his way into early medium retirement and he turned it down.
Sean, that is as good as it's going to get, my friend.
So he goes into his background.
Point of clarification.
Yes.
When was this article?
2015.
Because we looked, and I don't think Hood Horkerz are still for sale. So either somebody did a talent acquisition just to get a hold of Sean and lock down his ideas, or, and there are a couple other options, or this one's most likely, Hood Horkerz ran aground and he went back to earning dollars on hours, or item number 3, he has moved on to cigarette shirts. In which case, you should sue. $2.3 million.
$2.3 million. Now, it gets better.
I don't know if it could. It's not getting better for him. That's as good as it's going to get.
SCW, Santa Cruz Waves Journal. Tell us how you acquired your business skills. Well, Sean, when I started Hood Horkerz, I took the first prototypes to some festivals to gauge people's interests. The reaction was 100% positive. Everybody loved it and wanted one. Unfortunately, around that time, some old stuff caught up with me and I went to prison for a little over a year. Hood Horkerz start at $124 per hork.
Jesus.
It includes such big name rappers as Warren G, Ray Shremond. People who are into rap are going to be so annoyed at my butchering here. Jay Diggs, Rappin' Forte, T-Pain, Method Man, Redman, Tech Nine, and the list goes on. Now,
wait a minute. Those guys are all wearing Hood Horkerz?
They are all part of the Horkin tribe.
Are they like signed on as brand ambassadors, or they just like smoking out of their sweatshirt string?
I'm guessing it's probably the latter. But
I mean, who doesn't?
Exhibit B. That is TMZ.
What's up with y'all, man?
This is
Ray
TMZ.
Shermer, they're a hip-hop group. We got them
Highlighting Hood Horkerz.
No Flex Zone. So it's Sway Lee and Slimmy Jim. And Slimmy Jim goes through
I
that.
just want to step in the camera and say, shrimp life.
He pulls up his sweatshirt, and his sweatshirt strings are a pipe. Like, you put the weed on one side of it, and it's a vape, and it goes like through the whole thing.
You can smoke weed out of your hoodie?
Oh, that is cracking.
It's like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
How do you get that through security? I don't understand.
Yeah, how do you get it through security?
If you try and walk on a plane with that, you'll be arrested.
It's drug paraphernalia.
No, it's a prescription medication applicator.
It's true.
Party on.
So that right there is TMZ, which arguably for the younger generation, the most watched, most popular news organization, posted a video about Hood Horkerz, and it garnered close to 150,000 views.
Why do you have to make me feel sad? Is that the point of this show? Every time we try to make fun of someone, we get someone where I'm like, I think I can legitimately make fun of this person and it will hold up in court. And then you come back and you're like, no, he makes $20 million a year and has 40 million followers on the internet. And this time it's like, this guy is high at his sister's wedding and is trying to smoke his sweatshirt. Okay, I feel like I've got a pretty good shot there. Like, I can point and laugh at that guy. Nope. He's on TMZ and is getting multi-million-dollar offers for his sweatshirt.
Hood Horkerz is proof there is no justice in this world.
No, Hood Horkerz is proof that I am a loser. There is nobody low enough for me to make fun of, other than maybe you.
This guy got incredibly high one night and decided a fantastic idea was to try to smoke out of the string on his sweatshirt. He then promptly patented it, was offered $2.5 million for the patent, turned it down, went to jail, came out. I mean, I smell a Lifetime movie.
I want to do a where are they now with Sean from Hood Horkerz, because if our last article was 2015, much has happened in this young man's life.
Anyway, it's an entertaining article. His dad is the first commenter in the comment section. Sean, you make your old man proud with your ideas, laser focus, and dedication. Plus, as I recover from hip surgery, there's no better way to hork up my meds and keep my shit together while traveling the world on crutches than living in my Hood Horkerz 2 hoodie. Love you. Next comment on the article. Thanks, Dad.
You're kind of not really supposed to point out when your parents are commenting on your stuff.
Pretty much. And what dad could not be prouder than their son and CEO of Hood Horkerz?
You know, I sense your sarcasm, but the fact is he's doing better than us.
I'm going to ignore that comment as well. So if you didn't want to get annoyed enough already, I am annoyed at the Facebooks.
Okay.
A while back, we had an episode, and I don't think I talked about this at all on air. We had an episode that you so kindly missed, didn't show up for. It was an interview with producer Bill Pruitt about the Trump tapes, etc. So I try to promote this on Facebook, thinking it might get some people to come listen to the show. And when I go to promote it, Facebook basically blackballs me and says, you are a Russian bot trying to promote fake Trump news. I investigate a little more, and it turns out Facebook is requiring me to now prove I am not a Russian bot before I am allowed to post anything about Trump, which is fucking insane. And so now they are sending me some letter, snail mail, that I have to enter in some code and a background check to make sure that I am who I am before I can put political content on Facebook. That's insane. Then we did another little episode with a guy who is insane and has a death wish, Street Bike Tommy. Mm-hmm. So I go to put the Street Bike Tommy stuff on Facebook, and they said, no, you are a smut lord trying to pass off all your pornographic sexual content on Facebook, and we won't allow it. Now, mind you, the post I put up was something to the effect of Nitro Circus legend Street Bike Tommy opens up about his near-death experiences.
You think it was the verb opens up?
No, it gets worse. So after I get bonged for the strong sexual content of saying Street Bike Tommy from Nitro Circus. In the conversation with Facebook, it turns out that in the descriptions of our episodes on iTunes, this is the kind of strong sexual content that today's millennials need protecting from. So
Always about the millennials with you.
Put on your tinfoil hats and find your safe space, because it's about to get obscene AF.
You make fun of them, and yet then you use their slang.
Porn for the blind, yes, that's a thing. We keep it PG, but the creep factor is turned up to 11. We are basically sex traffickers, Connor, for using verbiage like that.
So you put, and I want to emphasize you, because you wrote this one, you put the word porn and 11 in the same sentence. It's a good thing you didn't get Chris Hansen showing up in your kitchen.
Yes, Connor, putting up an episode that we say we talk about blind people and their pornography, yet we make sure to keep it PG. That literally is the next word in the sentence.
John, I don't mean to crush your dreams here, but Mark Zuckerberg is not reading your synopsis. They've got some bot that's like, does it say porn? Does it say 11? Reject.
This world is getting so woke that it's becoming the stupidest thing ever. Why?
No.
Yes, no, I'm taking it there. This is ridiculous. I can't post an episode we have on Facebook because it has the word Trump in it. It wasn't even pro-Trump or negative Trump. It was just about a situation that happened, and we can talk about Omarosa. I can't post about Trump, and then I also can't advertise Street Bike Tommy because one of our many episodes happens to talk about blind people.
Also, not to be distinguished with deaf people, because John can't always tell the difference. So anyway, they call Zuckerberg up to Congress, and he starts getting the nervous sweats because he's
so Asperger.
Yeah, he's a little hot under the collar. And so he goes back to wherever they're based in Silicon Valley, and he's like, just cancel everything. So pretty much now, unless you're putting up a picture of your cat or whatever you're having for lunch, Facebook is like, nope, porn, nope, Russian, nope, can't talk about that.
Make sure you call it a cat and not your pussy. Here's a picture of my new pussy, Schmeckles. Not running from a fight, I have decided to make the vast majority of this show about pornography.
You stand your ground, John. I respect that.
Not in a Florida shoot minorities kind of way.
No, not. I didn't mean it in that way. No, I mean like metaphorically, like you post ads that sound like porn on the internet.
Nothing about Street Bike Tommy opens up about his time on Nitro Circus is pornographic.
Tomato, whatever you think it is.
I guess somebody could somehow infer that Nitro Circus is a very aggressive porn syndicate. Okay. Because the Facebook hates the porn, I have decided to make much of today's show about the pornography. And while I was doing some digging on this, I found many, many items that we need to cover today. A while back, and I never talked about it, but I figured this was a good opportunity. When we were going through kind of a rebrand, when we decided that having conjunctions in the title of our original name for this show was a bad idea for search, we were looking at different names and what was taken. And for whatever reason, I searched...
Sorry, can I just interrupt you there?
Yes.
Do you know what a conjunction is?
It's got a function.
What is its function?
To shorten two words into one word, and then you add an apostrophe.
Oh, okay. What is a contraction?
Damn it. I may be confusing the two. God. Are you enjoying this?
Oh.
Okay. I am not able to get to my point that I've been trying to get to, and that is, I have found maybe the most creepy podcast that I have ever come across, and I am highly confident that Facebook would probably allow them to advertise and not us. It is called Porn Free Radio with Matt Deschubitz. So Porn Free Radio basically is a guy who could not stop feverishly self-gratifying.
I guess you're going to tell me, but what exactly does he talk about? Like put a rubber band around your wrist and snap it when you feel like snapping?
Oh, Connor, please. If only it were so easy.
He's got, what does he have, 200 episodes?
I was going to point that out. He has 168 episodes.
That is a lot of not whacking.
An hour each devoted to not self-gratifying. And I'm like, you know what you need? Is you just need some friggin' kids. Because that will take all of your energy and all of your opportunity, and you will never need to do this again.
as well as any interest you may have had in procreating.
So I perused a few of his episodes, and I touched upon episode 5, which talks about porn-free travel, because nothing causes a relapse like a night in a Holiday Inn Express.
Welcome to Porn Free Radio. I'm Matt Dobschutz. In this episode, we'll talk about porn-free travel. Staying porn-free while traveling doesn't happen by accident. It takes work.
It takes work, Connor.
Also, I like that episode 7 is what my dad didn't tell me about porn. Yeah, I can answer that. He didn't tell me anything, nor would I want him to. That's weird.
It gets even weirder. Allow me to...
It always does.
Allow me to jump to minute 14 of the travel episode.
I was in my hotel room probably for 30 minutes, and I went to the bathroom, and my wife screamed out, and essentially she had just channeled down. The TV was on when we came into the room. It was one of these hotels that had a big flat screen TV, set to some sort of channel that was kind of a welcome channel. And she channeled down one channel and landed on one of the pornography stations, which was at this hotel. And this hotel...
The fact that his voice is so calm and modulated makes it even grosser.
He sounds like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
He sounds like Jeff Garlin. Let me find you a quick Jeff Garlin. Listen.
Hello there, Seth.
It's so good to see you.
How are you?
I'm good. So,
you know that guy?
Yeah.
He sounds just like that guy.
Yeah.
It was an adults-only hotel. There wasn't anything illicit about the hotel, but they felt free to have these porn channels just kind of on 24 hours a day in the hotel room, and it was
He was in the bathroom. His wife channeled down, saw that the hotel offered the ability to purchase adult content films, and screamed out in terror. She sounds like a treat.
She shrieked as if a spider was crawling up her leg.
And I'm not sure if I got to that point yet, but he said, "Thank God she found it and not him." It's like, it's so, the grossest part is that the common theme throughout all of this podcast is that it is uncontrollable.
Well, look, I mean, people have addictions, and addictions can take many different forms.
Hotels, other types of travel environments just are not the safest places if this is an issue for you, if this is something you're trying to avoid in your life.
It's a jungle out there, Connor.
And so you have to plan. And luckily I was with my wife, and
do you think he has a submissive wife?
100%, because in a couple of other episodes, he's just like, and this is the point I was going to talk about later, but this is so unfathomably gross. They have non-masturbation support coaches.
What?
Yeah, they have personal coaching. You know how when you're in sobriety for alcoholism, you have what do they call that guy?
A sponsor.
Yes, they have a sponsor you can call when you're jonesing for some Jack Daniels.
Is it just someone who's like really unattractive?
I don't know, but it's a person you call when you're just ready to just get yourself.
If somebody calls me and says, "Hey, I need someone to talk me down from being even remotely horny," I'm going to be like, "Go to hell, why'd you call me?" What is that supposed to mean? I don't have that many contagious skin diseases.
That might be the most revolting conversation ever. You're like,
Connor, it's me again. Yes, I know this is the 4th time today, but I was channeling down and I came upon Animal Planet. I saw 2 dung beetles rolling around in the hay, and I need to use, Connor, I really need to use. Can you send me a picture of your latest medical issue, please? Hurry.
I'm going through a tunnel. You're breaking up.
Don't leave me.
I want to be there for you, John, but this is just a bridge too far.
It's too late. Yes, they have. He has. You can sign up on his website for personal one-on-one coaching. Yes, you can order it with him. Now he talks about his personal coach was his fellow friend from church.
I'm going to start and just talk about hotel tips first. So some of these things actually just can be used if you have to travel just for family occasions.
These tips are also beneficial for family outings.
You could go into another environment, even your mom's house or your some relative's house.
What are you worried Aunt Sally is going to have out on the table?
Connor, the man is just trying to help people. He's giving you tips if you're on holiday at your mother's or if you are traveling to your aunt's. You need to have precautions in place to keep yourself from
My
gratifying.
mom has like Williams Sonoma catalog and like bills from the DMV. At what point is this guy walking in and be like, oh God, DMV bills. I need to call my sponsor.
Oh, geez, it's the summer, Williams Sonoma. I mean, we're laughing, but it's like, it's terrifying to know that there are people out there that have to put precautions in place before they can go to their mother's house because they are outside of a controlled environment and might need to constantly download porn.
I mean, I get where he's coming from. I'm sure this would be a very difficult thing to deal with, but it's still kind of weird.
The depth of it is what's grossing me out, and the fact that they have coaches is just.
And they haven't set up the same safeguards you have, and so you have to be on your guard. So I'm going to.
Mom does not have the same safeguards at her house to keep from streaming porn.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of safeguards he's hoping for there, but my boyfriend's a doctor, and one of the things he tells me is that in medical training, they teach you to normalize the patient's condition, so that a person doesn't feel like they're alone. This is something that a lot of people experience. Here are ways you can deal with it, and it's interesting because porn addiction is probably relatively common. But do you remember that show, My Strange Addiction?
They would eat chalk and stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah, and there was one person who would eat like the cardboard rolls inside of toilet paper, or like I think another person ate cotton balls.
Did you see the one? This was so gross. Maybe the grossest thing ever. How she ate the foam out of couch cushions.
Oh, that's super toxic.
This is so disgusting. She liked to find them on the street well used because she liked the salty flavor of the well used couch cushion. I'm gagging telling it. I'm sure it's on YouTube. Look it up. It's the lady whose strange addiction was eating couch foam and she liked the middle part of the seat because it was the saltiest.
Oh God. And the one on the side of the road is like dog blood and pee and like aborted feti.
Well, God forbid you get this guy's couch. Maybe it was from his mom's house, and she doesn't have precautions in place.
Well, I think this guy's couch is pretty clean as of 2014 when he went sober. But my point is, like, it's got to be difficult to normalize the person's addiction. Like, I don't know how you say, oh yeah, I see a lot of folks who eat couch cushions on the side of the road. I mean, it's just hard to normalize something that's not normal.
So Connor, let's brainstorm. You're an average guy with a condition.
Several.
A condition that means you have to Harvey Weinstein yourself nonstop 24 hours a day.
If you're going to make a verb out of that guy's name, I don't think that's what the verb means, but go ahead.
You're traveling. You find yourself at a La Quinta. All alone. No one's there. As a disciple of Mr. Dobashoots, what kind of precautions would you take in a hotel room? Because I'm going to play his, and I want to see if you're able to think this through. If you have the mentality of a person in recovery.
All right. So these are some of the things I do when I'm in a hotel. Now, the first thing, I mentioned this already, you cannot turn on the TV. I don't care if you're a huge NHL fan and you want to watch the playoffs.
Nope.
I don't care if your favorite TV show is finishing its final season on the night that you're traveling. You do not want to turn the TV on in your room. Now, a lot of
never, Connor, never.
Well, I was thinking, like, could you ask the maid to turn it on for you and you stand out in the hall? But what if, God forbid, she turns it on?
Too dangerous, Connor.
To the porn channel, and then you're the creepy guy who brought the maid in to turn on the porn. It's just like a lose-lose.
You're on the ragged edge there, my friend.
Yeah.
You're living footloose and fancy-free with yourself. You probably wouldn't even think of this.
Another tip just for a hotel room is at night when you have to charge your cell phone or your smartphone, plug it in the bathroom and shut the door. I know it sounds just kind of simple and not very safe, but what this does, it eliminates you rolling over in bed and then just...
So you got that, Connor? You're going to want to unplug the TV. You can never watch TV. You got to lock your cell phone in the bathroom. Hold on. We're not done.
Okay.
There are more demons out there, Connor.
So when you get in your hotel room, just say, I'm not using the internet in this room. Now, a way to ensure that you do that is by locking your computer in your rental car.
Don't do that. That is terrible advice.
So he's saying, go to the front desk, have them turn off your internet. I don't know how you do that with Wi-Fi. And then go lock your computer in your rent-a-car.
Getting your computer stolen is a good way to make sure you don't go on the internet. It's also a good way to get your computer stolen. I feel bad for the guy. I mean, this is a legitimate addiction. Like the whole thing about leaving your phone in the bathroom and shutting the door. This is
not doing it at your mom's house on Thanksgiving.
The mom's house on Thanksgiving was a little weird, but yeah.
You're making me feel bad for making fun of this person.
But then, then I look at episode 154, which is porn! ! Recorded live in Indianapolis.
So Connor, rest assured, this is not the end of our noble quest to trip all of Facebook's censor bots. Do you know so a while back, there was a hack of some website, Pornhub or something like that, and it released a bunch of data about its users. That's always fun, including email addresses.
Oh, great.
One of the biggest things right now is hentai. Do you know what hentai is?
Is that like a way of cooking a chicken?
See, I would think it was like a number 7 from a Chinese restaurant. It turns out that hentai is cartoon porn.
Like graphic cartoon porn?
Yeah, like hand-drawn. Like if Bugs Bunny got a little bit frisky with Wile E. Coyote or whoever chases Bugs Bunny.
I think they're mortal enemies. Actually, wait, they don't even know each other.
Wait, no, Roadrunner and Coyote.
Yes, they're mortal enemies.
So that's like a huge thing now. And then I also want to do a quiz for you. What do you think the number 1 gay search term in Arizona is?
Oh God. On Pornhub?
Yes.
Oh man. The number 1 gay search term in Arizona. Oh man.
Let's give you an easier one. How about Oklahoma?
No. I want to try Arizona.
Okay.
Is it Hispanic?
Ooh,
Latin?
That is strong. It's Cholo.
Oh. I'm going to say that's a win.
Ding, that is a win. So based on that information, how about Oklahoma?
Bear.
Cowboy.
I was pretty close. A cowboy is kind of a bear.
North Dakota.
Why would North Dakota be different from Oklahoma?
You're not going to get this one.
Farm boy.
Gay beef. I was unaware that steaks had a sexual orientation, but apparently not beefcake. In North Dakota, gay beef.
Gay? I'm not even... Is that like a pork loin?
I have no idea. But I beg the question, Connor, is that bone in?
It sounds like it.
Wild card, bitches! Yeah!
Utah's not that interesting. It's locker room. West Virginia. Let's see if you get this one. West Virginia.
Something coal related, like mining.
Black lung. West Virginia is redneck. So basically, whatever state you live in, the number 1 search term is the stereotypical representation of that state. I'm surprised.
Well, you remember what Hannibal said in Silence of the Lambs? Hello, Clarice. We covet what we see every day.
Wow, look at you with the callback, and that was all Freudian. Wow.
Yeah.
That was industrial strength knowledge right there.
Thank you. If you got to go back, and watch that. Anthony Hopkins is on scene for like 8.5 minutes and won Best Actor for it, and 100% deserved it. Like he should have won a Lifetime Achievement Award. But I was watching it a few months ago, and he never blinks.
Yes, that's what I heard.
So
and that
weird.
What a great idea for making yourself seem creepy.
Yeah. I don't know how he did it. Like that's some serious method acting, but he's just always looking at you, or he's looking at Clarice.
Oh my. All right, some more fun porn info. Second most popular search, lesbian-related search by women.
Nationwide?
Yes. I found this hilarious. Well, I don't know. I didn't put down what the other ones were. They were uninteresting.
Okay.
But this one is what I would imagine, like, if an 8-year-old boy could use the internet, but he were a grown woman searching female on female, he would type this in.
I mean,
people are really stupid.
Scissors?
Yes, scissoring.
Is it really?
The number 2 search term is scissoring.
I feel like I did too well at that game.
And lastly, and not leastly, I don't think you can say that, because I despise all things that are Kardashian. I think that they are succubuses on the soul of society. I want to remind everyone that Kim Kardashian is a porn star, and she got her career started because she did a pornographic film released by her mother. And to give you some numbers, did you know that her porn tape has grossed more than $50 million? She makes $20,000 per month off the residuals of that tape that her mom released. Don't forget. But here's my favorite. Ray J, her ex, the guy in the tape, sent her a wedding gift. The wedding gift was 3 months of his share of the profits from the tape, $50,000.
I don't even feel like they are worthy of discussing. Their 15 minutes was up so long ago. It's like somebody needs to show them out of the club because the music has stopped. But I did not realize that her mom released that.
Her mom was like executive producer on that.
Yeah, I mean that tells you everything you need to know. Speaking of things that shouldn't have been recorded or that you don't want to watch or listen to after they were recorded, can we talk about your former colleague Omarosa?
Oh, Omarosa. Wow, she is all over the headlines right now, huh?
You guys were like besties, right? You weren't on the same season. She was before you. How'd that work?
I wasn't on the same season, but I did know her. I mean, she is what you think she is. She is basically someone who is the ultimate opportunist, willing to say whatever it is that will get her more airtime. You know, I recall a good friend of mine from her season, Erica. She claimed for the longest time that Erica said the N-word while taping on The Apprentice, and they all went on Howard Stern together. And when they got to Howard Stern said to Erica, "Will you take a lie detector test?" And she said, "Absolutely." And she took a lie detector test and passed. And then after that happened, someone else said, and I don't know if it was Stern or not, said to Omarosa, "Will you take a lie detector test?" And she said, "I don't need to. My word is my bond." So that's a little iffy.
It's a junk bond.
Yeah. Now, the strange thing here, and this is one of those situations where I will hate me for you, because this is kind of one of those situations where I know the truth behind what happened with what's in the news right now. I know whether Trump used the N-word on tape or not. And I am not legally allowed to say one way or the other. But let's just say there are tapes. And if you remember, not that long ago, we actually had an interview with Bill Pruitt, who was the first person to ever kind of talk about this subject. And why don't I just play, this is a clip from that show, which is actually an excerpt from another interview where he talks specifically about what he heard was on the tapes.
Was it just about women? Mostly about women?
Very, very much a racist issue.
It was about race?
Yeah.
About African Americans, Jewish people, all the above?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Please don't let my previous statement about Omarosa lying about someone saying the N-word influence what the actual reality of the situation is here.
So let me translate that because I am not subject to a non-disclosure agreement. The tape exists and he did say it. And I don't even think you're not saying it, but I don't think one is going that far out on a limb.
I cannot support what you have said. That is your opinion. All I will say is that Trump says he didn't say the N-word. Omarosa says he did. One of them is lying. I will say that.
And I will speculate, without putting words in your mouth, that it's Trump, based on a lot of things. And interestingly, the tape that she put out yesterday has, I think it was the campaign spokeswoman at the time saying, yeah, he said it. He's embarrassed about it. If it was just Omarosa, not credible. But there are enough other voices in the room, not to mention all the other crazy crap he said. It's not like this is out of character.
I'm unaware how Omarosa thinks she's not going to get sued. That's what I don't get. She's under NDA with NBC and Donald Trump, executive producer. She's under, I believe, some sort of White House gag order. She's recording her phone in the Situation Room, which is a device-free zone. I don't know. I mean, I guess in the Stormy Daniels type of way, if you just go public with something that you signed an NDA on, and it makes big enough news, it's almost like people are afraid to sue you or something. It's very strange.
Well, she must have gotten some legal advice. And I thought she had said that she didn't sign any NDA with respect to serving in the White House, which I would be surprised if that were enforceable. Like, to say you're going to be a public employee on the taxpayer's dollar, but you can't subsequently talk about it. I mean, in theory, anything that you do, any records that you create are public record at that point. They're essentially taxpayers.
I don't know the legality.
Taxpayer funded.
Yeah.
The NDAs for the show are a different story, but it's interesting. If you saw her interview, I think from 2 days ago now, she kept harping back on the point that when she was fired, they put her in a locked room without access to counsel or her husband, and they refused to let her leave. And she actually used the word false imprisonment, and I think is essentially trying to build a countersuit, is what it seemed like. I mean, it's all very transparent, but that's what it seemed like.
I wouldn't let her near anything that I didn't want to completely implode.
But that is exactly the point, is that throughout this whole episode, with her getting fired and her ridiculous book and media tour, what we have seen is an enormous lack of judgment in bringing this person into the inner circle on the campaign and into the White House. It shows just a serious lack of vetting and maturity on either the president's part or whoever was doing the hiring that let someone like this into such an important institution.
Yeah. I don't think he actually wants to hire, and this is conjecture, I don't think he wants to hire an African-American to do actual work for him. I think he cares about perception, and I think that's why Omarosa was there. She's a good-looking African-American that he knew.
The other interesting thing is that he cares about his own fragile ego and people who are willing to be sycophantic towards him.
That's the answer.
He openly said, I wanted her there because she said nice things about me. I mean, in addition to being childish and pathetic, I think that is actually a statement of honesty. And so judgment and proper vetting gets surpassed by, does this person stoke my ego? And I think so far, that's the only lesson we can take from this whole ugly situation with her and her book and getting fired.
Yeah.
Is that they let this troll into the White House.
So anyway, it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it. I'm pretty confident she'll get sued. I think that this is the closest we've ever been to having tapes come out.
Can we get her on the show?
I've got a decent shot. She is amazingly awful to interview. I don't know if you saw when she was on the Today Show.
I did.
So unnecessarily aggressive. Like, I have never seen anyone that is like, excuse me, I'm not done answering. Like someone asked, what's her name? Samantha Guthrie asked a question, and she's like, so what did you hear? And Omarosa's talking for a little bit, and Samantha goes, oh, how did that make, like, didn't even get like a comment out. And Omarosa's like, I'm not finished. If you ask it 100,000 questions while I'm answering the first question you asked, I don't think I can do this interview. And you're just like, whoa, you are a handful.
She came in hot. Yeah. Well, I texted you and said, can you get Omarosa on the show? And then I watched that interview and I was like, I'm not sure I want you to get Omarosa on the show.
I kind of do, because I kind of want to watch that implosion, that meltdown. I want to see how long it is we can keep her on the show before she hangs up on us.
I have a feeling it's not going to be very long.
Well, as I said earlier, Connor, we did not have a guest on today's show, but that does not mean we did not accomplish some very, very important things. First, we learned that if you get incredibly high and come up with a business idea that is going to allow you to work ideas, not hours, you should sell when the first person offers you $2.5 million.
I will just be happy if you actually pressed record this time.
I did press record this time.
Oh, good.
Lastly, I think we accomplished our goal of setting off every single content bot at Facebook and ensuring that this show cannot be shared with any of the people that listen to this show. That's our show for this week. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back with another episode of Wildcard next week.
Trying to get rich. And you just be talking that shit.
Thanks for listening to Wildcard. See live podcasts and pics from the show on Instagram and Facebook, or visit us online at wildcardshow.com.
Like a straight up bitch.